Hello, welcome, fellow adventurers, to the MGM podcast hosted by Matt.
And Gina.
So, today we are going to talk about if we count coaster credits, and if so, how do we do that? We're going to share that here shortly. Please make sure to like, follow, and share wherever you are listening or watching this. That would be great. Please send any questions or feedback to mgmadventures@yahoo.com.
Or any of our social channels.
So we're going to dive right down into this. There's many ways to do this. We do count them, as we just mentioned. We know of people that count them different ways. I do know some people that count them on paper, Excel sheets.
No, thank you.
I used to use an Excel sheet,
Of course you did.
but I've since moved on.
I did not count coasters until I married this guy.
How do we count them? That's important, obviously. We use two sources, actually, a little bit different of why we're using that. I'll put some screenshots in of the two apps. Well, the first one's a site/app, and that is the Coaster Count website.
I like this one.
Why do you like this one?
I don't know, because I do. It counts different types of coasters more than the other one that we use.
It does, yeah.
Like,
So
I believe it counts mountain coasters. Does the other one count mountain?
the other one does too.
There's something that it counts that the other one does not.
So
And that's how we base our counts on.
yeah, so Coaster Count's the main one that we use for our actual official total count. And I think we mostly agree with what they use, and they do seem to use RCDB as their main source of information.
What is RCDB?
The
for those who
website,
don't know?
rollercoasterdatabase.com, to select the roller coasters, which is good. They do count some that I wouldn't count. There's a couple of log flume water rides that have like a drop, and then they count that like Dudley Do Rides. I don't know why. That's one. 90% of it's a log, 99% of it or whatever is a water ride, and then 1% of it is I don't know if that counts. I do count the mock water coasters, the ones where they go up, there's a lift hill, then there's the actual outdoor track section, and then you splash in the water. That to me is a little different. That might be controversial. I don't know, but we count those. We do count mountain coasters because that's moving.
It's moving.
It's moving, and you have to control it. It's rolling on rails. It rolls on rails. So if you use that as your definition, it works great. If a train changes on it, it depends what this is. But for me, if a stand-up changes to a floorless, that's a new ride.
Do you consider the racer at Kennywood 2 different credits or the same credit?
This is probably one of the more controversial things that I have
not
adapted.
On our little notes. Oh, it is.
That I have adapted. It is in our notes.
I didn't see it.
To me, it's 2 credits. Kennywood Racer is 2 credits in my head. If I have to get up, walk around the exit path, go all the way back, get in line, and even though I have to get back in line on the same side, I had to get out. If I rode it from the first side through the second side back to the first side, 1 credit. But I had to stand up, get out, get back in.
So you had to get out of the coaster.
Yeah, that's 2 credits.
Makes it 2 credits.
Yes. Twisted Colossus is 1 credit because I go through it. I go through both sides of the tracks and don't have to get out. If I had to stop in the station, get out, walk around, and go on the other one, 2 credits.
Okay.
I don't know. That might be comfortable.
Feisty over there.
I just want to, I get it if you don't agree with that. I really do. But yeah, that's the one that makes, I don't know. That one's weird to me.
That one's the most controversial, as you can tell.
Coaster Count's the main one for the main credits, coaster credits that we use. It's a website or available on Apple as an app. We have Android, so we just use the site. It works really well.
And that's our main count.
Yeah, that's the main official count. It also, like I mentioned earlier, it's got RCDB behind it. So it does seem to be a little bit more balanced than the other one and has a lot of historical stuff like that. The second one that we use is LogRide. This is a phone app. We do track everything in here. If we see a show, we ride a ride. This includes coasters, flat rides, dark rides, water park stuff, haunted houses. We do track it in LogRide. LogRide is a little bit more community driven than RCDB, it feels, because you can submit things to LogRide.
You mean coaster count?
Yes. LogRide is a little bit more community driven than Coaster Count. Correct. Sorry. So, it does also provide you stats and that kind of thing, which I like to use end of the year. And it also, to be honest, it's kind of nice to have that when we go to some of these parks often, especially with Kings Island and Cedar Point. We'll ride something and then we don't know. I'm like, you know, when did I last ride this? So log ride's nice for that. Be like, oh, I haven't ridden that in a couple. Let's ride that. So it helps us plan our days sometimes too. And with log ride, you can also submit things too, which is nice. So you can submit it to log ride and hopefully it gets approved. Just have an admin. We've submitted a couple of shows
Photos.
and some photos for some attractions and shows. Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
I like them both. I like a log ride a little bit better just because it has the water rides and the haunted houses, and we track how many each time we go to the park.
Yeah. So we
You can be a little bit more crazier and track what seat you sit in
and on what train
and what
we
train.
have that turned off because
That's a little much for me. Keeping track
you
of
can
what
also
I've
track
ridden
the
is
weather
just
also if you really want to track it. But all that is like advanced tracking, and we have most of that turned off. So you don't have to do that. We just count, okay, I rode this ride good enough today 3 times.
yeah,
But you could be like, I rode in the rain, train to seat 12.
on the right-hand side.
Yeah. And
Well, row 12,
yeah, you can,
seat
no,
12.
seat 12 because it shows the seat numbers on the sides. It's pretty crazy if you really want to do that. It seemed like a lot. We don't do it. We'll just say that.
I don't definitely would not do it, but
Hey,
I get on the ride and Matt's like, "What side do you wanna ride on?" I don't care. He's more
there's
concerned about that than I am.
there's a couple that I like a certain front or back and left or right a little bit better. There's definitely a couple, but not.
I mean, front or back's a different story, not left or right.
There are some better that are better, oddly, in the front than the back. I think.
I think Orion's better in the front.
Yes, I would
I
agree.
think Diamondback's better in the back.
Yeah, I'd give you that. So it just depends. I think the faster ones are probably better in the front, and the ones with more air might be better in the back. I think that's probably a decent way to look at it. But to be honest, if you ask me what I do have a favorite row on Mystic for sure, but I can literally I like it, it is row 11. Um, but and if I'm crazy, 12. But I love all rides on every seat on Mystic, so I don't care. Anyway, so I did think about this. I forgot to put this in here. They probably do want to know what our counts are. I just looked mine up. So I'll go
Thanks for the
first
heads
while you
up.
look at it. So mine is currently saying 441. I know Gina's is ahead of me a little bit, I think.
My count is 446.
So Gina's ahead of me. She caught me. We
I
tied.
was behind
Yeah.
ever, and we tied for our 400th coaster. We got
Yeah.
to ride our 400th coaster together. And then
Yeah.
I got to ride some that he had already ridden.
Yeah. So she got up.
And there was some that he was too tall for, AKA the toboggan ride
Yeah,
at
at
Little
Little America.
America.
Yeah.
That's one that I know off
Yeah.
the top of my
There's a
head.
couple. That will be a future episode because people are like, "How do you fit in things?" I'm like, I don't know if I want to give all my secrets away.
Why? Why would that why not?
I'll probably do it. We'll probably do an episode on that, but there you go.
I mean, I'm not the smallest person. People wonder how I fit in things too, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
so I that might be something we talk about. So there you go. As far as most ridden attraction ever, I don't have this fully counted, but I know it's the Red Racer, but Mystic is slowly catching up. I'll say that.
I would say mine's probably Mystic,
Yeah.
but I don't know for sure. I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Do know it's Red Racer because I previously done coasting for kids and I know how many times I rode Red Racer.
Which is,
A lot.
how many times did you ride the Red Racer in one day?
I think it was 106.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the one time was 106, which is um the record is well, I think it's 112. I think. But also, there were different circumstances with those. Obviously, this was a special event, and the other one was done during normal days. So
We should try it.
it would be hard to do even with fast lane, I would think. I don't know. But yeah. So there you go. So I did coasting for kids for,
Couple years.
and it did do Blue Racer one year, but I'm pretty sure it did Red Racer the other years, and I averaged about 100 on each one. So yeah, it was not everyone made it that
I'd
far. We
I'd
had a
tap out at like 20 probably.
we had a group that wrote it. Myself and probably 4 or 5 others. I don't remember everybody, but we were all riding
Sean
it
make
together.
it with you?
Sean was one of them. If you did coasting for kids, I like coasting for kids. It's a good event. It supports Give Kids the World. They've since left Kings Island, but they've done other parks. We did it at Kennywood
Yep.
one year. Um,
We got to ride Steel Curtain first. One
yeah.
of the first rides
So
we did.
sometimes they do it different. With Kings Island, they did it with just the racer. They would basically shut down one side of the racer for the event, and the other side would be the regular folks. For other parks, they will give you ERT for so many hours on their rides. So anyway, but it was nice to do those. I like that. I like supporting Give Kids a World when we can, and then also I do like supporting a kid again. Also,
Okay, again.
okay, we've gotten a little off track. So what is our next section?
Ohio Midway Report for Kings Island, Cedar Point, and others out of Ohio.
Basically, if you don't know, there's a new Six Flags app out.
Ooh,
Um, it's replaced the individual apps for the Cedar Fair parks. I like it. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but it's a lot better than the old one. You could argue, I'll mention some apps I like a little bit better here shortly, but I think it's a lot better than the previous ones. I do know it released in November, I want to say.
that sounds about right.
So if you did had the old app, it probably upgraded you already because now you're not able, if you had the old app, it would auto redirect. You couldn't go back into the old ones. So
Have you deleted Kings Island off your phone yet?
not yet. Or Cedar Point. They're both still there, but I did get rid of Carowinds. I think that's the only one I don't remember. I did get rid of the Carowinds app. I do know that, which I realized I still had. So it's nice. It did have some problems converting accounts over. I do know that. My account took a
Forever.
week plus. Gina's worked in a couple days. Our friends worked in a couple
I don't think
days.
it even was a couple days. I think it was the same
I
day.
think it's so, but mine, I don't know
Yours
why.
took like days.
Forever. So we'll just
He
say.
was the most excited about
Well, everyone's telling me all these cool features, and I'm like, I can't even look at them.
it. Was fun.
It was not fun.
What?
Anyway, I think it's still got some features that they probably will add in. One of the weird features that they're missing is you used to have add to mobile wallet, and it doesn't have that. I don't know why. So thankfully, when we had the old apps, we'd already added our passes to our mobile wallet. So, which is very helpful, especially if you have a smartwatch, because you can just bring it up in there. If you haven't taken a look, take a look at that. And I guess what apps do I like better? I probably should just go ahead and mention that. I really like Hershey Park's app. I think it's really well done. Hershey Park does a lot of things right. I'll just say that. And then I think the Disney World, Disneyland apps are pretty good too. I think
What about Busch Gardens?
it's not very good. It's not very good.
SeaWorld?
It's the
It's the
same
same.
app.
It's the same.
Yeah. The Dollywood app and the Silver City app are okay. They get the basic jobs done. Yeah, I think Hershey's my favorite, to be honest. I don't know. But the Disney apps would be right there too. The nice part about the Disney apps is they figured out mobile ordering and some of the crowd stuff that some of the other parks haven't. So
Mobile order at Disney is the best thing
yeah.
ever.
So anyway, back to the Six Flags app. That's new. We ended up. This is related. I promise. It's going to sound like it's not up front, but we did get winter chill out tickets.
Yeah.
Yes, good for us. So we'll obviously talk about that in a future episode after it occurs. What we've seen. I already got a title for that episode. I figured out. So we'll talk about that. But when we did get the tickets, someone reported that they showed up automatically in the app, and when I switched to Cedar Point, they were there. So if you did order them and buy them with the same email address, at least that your account is set up under, they'll show up there. So it was pretty cool how that worked. I thought it was pretty neat. So anyway, you have any more thoughts?
Nope.
Okay, what's our next section?
Around the parks.
So,
I'm so mad. Not really mad, but it's fine.
yeah, so Universal Orlando made a announcement of sorts. I would say it's a pretty good sized announcement that it's official. What's replacing Hollywood Rip Ride and Rocket is Fast and Furious
Hollywood
Hollywood
Drift.
Drift.
Isn't that the same as Universal in LA?
It is. Is. Yeah. So
Gonna be like Hollywood Drift New York or something?
there is that. New York Drift would have probably worked better
Something?
because where they're building it is actually more in New York even than Hollywood Rip Ride and Rocket was. So we'll see how that works. It sounds like, I think they're trying to theme it like the other one where it's not really the Fast and Furious movies, but it's the stunt work behind the Fast and Furious movies. I mean, Hollywood Rip Ride and Rocket was technically in New York too, and that didn't really make sense. So I guess we'll just
First ride.
deal with it. The Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift is coming. It will use the same train, same system from Intamin with the drifting cars, which is a kind of a controlled spin car that's coming out to LA, like Gina mentioned. Coming in 2027. I
Ooh.
probably will say mid to late 2027. I don't think it's going to be early 27. I think it's probably going to be a later one.
I'm
Um,
gonna guess October of
yeah,
2027.
I'm thinking around Hollywood Horror Nights myself, probably, but we'll see. They're, I mean, as fast as they're going, who knows? Um, they tore down Rip Ride and Rocket so fast, it was crazy. Like we were there, it already closed, and they had taken out sections of it, and we um, were there like on two separate days, a couple days apart, and it was crazy to see how much they had taken out in that time frame. So crazy. What's nice about this, it will have a 170-foot spike on it. So, and a switch track, it sounds like. If you've ridden,
170-foot spike. Sounds kind of tiny to me.
it's the same size as Pantheons.
What about Top Thrill 2?
No, it's not the same as Top Thrill 2. So don't compare it to Top Thrill 2. But
That's why I said I think it sounds a little smaller
it's
to
going to
me.
be the size of Pantheons, but you're going to be potentially spinning.
Oh,
So there's that.
because I do spinning so well.
You like Time Traveler?
I do. It's yeah, I
Anyway.
guess. But I don't
However,
like
so that's coming. You may or may not know there's another Fast and Furious ride in the park called Supercharged, which is the worst ride. Well, I don't know why you called it. I don't. Hollywood Rip Ride and Rocket had nothing on this one. Supercharged is terrible
Yeah, but we rode Supercharge more than we ever rode the other one.
by one time.
It's more.
We didn't ride either very much. I I'm glad that Supercharged is leaving. I don't think anyone is sad Supercharged is leaving.
I bet there's several people out there that's sad.
Yeah, I liked it a lot better on the LA version when you were on the tour, but they've also taken that version out now too.
Well, yeah, they're getting a coaster.
They're getting a Fast and Furious coaster, so they'll have to replace that on the movie tour. They have not said what they're doing with that yet. I thought it was better there. Um, this is not good. If you've never ridden it, you should ride it. You got till 2027, so good luck. I I would expect probably after the holiday rush, it's gone. So
Going down, they're gonna remodel it for
yeah,
a
I
new
I
ride.
think I if you want to ride supercharged, uh, I would ride it in 2026. Just to be honest, uh, I don't know if we'll ride it again.
What do you want in that block?
So they've already screwed up their area themes, so I feel like they're gonna have to fix that somehow. I don't know exactly how they do that. I am hoping that it gets replaced by another Intamin ride that they just announced at IAPA called a multi-dimension mover ride. Basically, it can go forwards, backwards, launch itself, and have drops. So think a little bit of rise of resistance with some of the interactions, but it can launch. So I do hope it gets replaced by that, maybe with a future themed property would be
That
my
would be your
preference.
hope.
That would be my hope because we didn't get it here. I feel like they're gonna bring back an old IP. They've been going into the nostalgia font a lot, with some other things they've done. I feel like they're gonna be bring back an old theme.
Let's do it.
Yeah, 88 miles an hour, if you didn't pick that up already. Anyway, next.
Travel tips. Our travel tips for today are kind of coinciding with the current weather. You won't hear this for a couple weeks, but
that we're experiencing. Yep.
we have gotten a lot of snow. So, prepare for weather. Weather changes all the time, but find a weather app that works for you. Get a good idea of what you may get into when packing. Look again one day before you leave,
Or two. It's fine.
or three.
Whatever. I, this is probably duh, but just I don't know. Just prepare for that. Weather happens.
Sometimes you can't prepare.
You just go
Well,
in and say,
sometimes it says, "Oh, it's gonna be a high of 60," and then it's a low of 30,
yeah, you just gotta go with the punches on this. We've
especially in the winter.
yeah, the winter is interesting. I would say the spring and fall can be interesting too, and summer, to be honest, with the rain. You just have to deal with it your best. I don't know what else to say. We do risk it when going places if the weather is questionable, but I would say if it's extreme weather, we're not going to risk it. But if it's questionable on it's raining or not,
We may go.
we're probably going to risk it
Sure.
because things are less busy when it rains. I don't
Exactly.
care about getting as wet.
Speaking of rain, pack extra clothes and shoes for rain. I don't like to wear soggy shoes or socks. Absolutely not.
No.
If my socks get wet, I'm done. Like, if I get wet clothes, I am done. I don't want the blisters. I'm out of there.
Yeah, you can also, you know, Crocs also maybe a good solution here for that, depending on what season it is, or some people wear Crocs all the time. I do know a couple of people that do that. So, uh,
Or you could pack an umbrella.
you can.
I prefer an umbrella over a poncho for sure because I get hot in a poncho,
It kind of depends for me on the weather. If it's cooler, probably a poncho. But yeah,
baby. And we found these really good umbrellas that are nice and compact. They're the Vortex brand from Target, and that's one we use. They might sell them other places, but we got ours at Target.
so far they did pretty good for us. They've made it through pretty much the whole season. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I would recommend that. It's also I think it was like $25 an umbrella, maybe 30. So and they're nice. They fold and they get pretty big. So
And for winter weather, it's very difficult to plan sometimes, but I do recommend rechargeable hand warmers, rechargeable jackets, um, rechargeable heating anything. I think they have socks now, but we don't have those.
jackets, they have everything. It feels like yeah. The rechargeable stuff's probably nice for the well, yeah, it's good to have that and just it's not too challenging to recharge it. Of course, the old-fashioned hand warmers from Hot Hands and all that is fine too, so just I don't know. You just gotta go with the
Spend
flow.
your money where you want it.
Yeah. If you don't wanna have to deal with recharging things,
Hot
that's fine.
hands it
Hot
is.
hands it is, that's fine now.
Or cold hands if you don't
Or
want
you can have cold
anything.
hands. Probably have gloves. Gloves are important, some sort of thing to keep your ears warm. Just note if you are going to a theme park in the winter, if you have a scarf or a beanie and you wanna ride rides, likely you're gonna have to take those off. Just
Yes.
throwing that out there. We normally wear hoodies for that reason. So, anyway, next section.
Quick bites. Let's talk about food, my favorite thing.
We go to the parks all the time. So this is something we do talk about and recommend, and I think everyone that goes to the parks multiple times probably does this. But if you're going a couple times, once, I don't care. Look into the dining plan options. Most parks have a 1-day dining plan option. A lot of those options are not too expensive, I don't think, depending on the park. There's some that are 30, $40. There's one that I know that's $50, but it's all day, normally can eat every 90 minutes or so.
We share it.
Oh, well, yeah. And there are ways to do that, even though some tell you not to. Uh, don't if you're gonna do that, be smart about it. I'll say that.
They can't tell me who can eat
Some
off my
some
plate.
people, are stricter than others, I'll say that. A lot of them give you a wristband now, and so the one person has to go through.
And I usually give that to Matt.
So prepare for that if you do get a dining plan. Normally, 90 minutes is not too bad.
Sometimes it's a lot. We can split it between 3 people sometimes.
Yeah, depending on the park and how busy it is or not. Yeah, it just depends. But that's the all day dining plan. Look into those options. All the Six Flags parks have it. Hershey, Busch Gardens. Disney doesn't really have one. They have some options if you're staying on site, but that's more of like a vacation version, which kind of goes more into the next one that we're going to talk about. But look into that if you're going to do that. Yeah, you get to try a lot of different food if you do it that way. So
And if you're going to the park multiple times in a year, look into their all year dining if they have that option.
yeah,
Like we have that for Six Flags and we get 2 meals per visit
yeah.
or well, per visit. So if we go to Kings Island in the beginning of the day and drive to Cedar Point, we could get a potential of 4 meals because it's 2 different visits.
I think we've only done it once that way. Who knows how it's going to work with the merger? I can't guarantee that's going to work,
Right.
but you can definitely get 2 meals a day at the park that you go to. Some of the Six Flags parks are a distance away. You could probably we have done it where during haunt we did eat. We did go to Cedar Point briefly, got a meal, get a couple rides, drove down, got 2 meals at Kings Island. So that is possible if the park hours are a little longer. I don't we who knows how things work in 2026 with the merger, but recommend that. That's I mean, and I know, people that live closer to us, go down and just eat there all the time. Many options, I think, to go get the food if you're gonna do that. Um, just it's a cost thing. If you're only gonna go once or twice, maybe look at the all day. If you're looking at more than 3 or 4 times, I'd probably get the all season, but it's gonna be dependent. I know people still like to do also the pack system, so that works too. If you wanna do that, we're not judging you. Understand that. Just sometimes it's can be, a little bit of a hassle, especially if you're gonna go and leave the property and come back. I think that's probably not the best solution at this point in time, but it depends. Maybe
To each their own.
to each their own. So I'll just say that. Get a dining plan. Six Flags has the all season ones. There are some other parks that do this also. The one at Hershey is seasonal, which is a little different. So you can get like the summer season dining plan. And I think they might have I think it's just a summer season at Hershey Park. I don't remember what all that gets. We normally get the one day at Hershey Park. Not every park offers dining plans. The ones that come to mind the most are
Universal.
Universal, Dollywood, Silver Dollar City. And I understand their reasonings, to be honest, for that. Dollywood's president has said multiple times, you got to make sure you have enough restaurant capacity. And for years, I would not say they have. They've definitely improved restaurant capacity at Dollywood, but I mean, they still probably need a couple more restaurants to balance Dollywood out. Just to be honest, where like Kings Island, Cedar Point, they have a lot of restaurants. So, and I think their quality has gotten a lot better over the past probably 5, 6 years. So,
And we'll see if that continues.
yeah, I think it will stay the same.
I hope.
I think so. Anyway, next section.
Trail talk. We got a question.
Well, yeah,
Well,
it's
more of
you
a
know a
request.
request, which I'm going to count in this because it is from someone else requesting us to talk about something. So we're going to talk about it. So, what was requested that we talk about?
It was requested that we talk about the most exotic animal we saw at the zoo in Copenhagen.
And who requested this?
Our friend Liz Lakey.
So, a little bit of backstory here. So, in 2023, went on a trip to Europe, went to a couple of different places. We had one day in Cologne, Germany. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm just probably am. And we did a lot of city exploring, did a couple things there, some really cool things. We actually, that day was really neat what we did. We did a lot of different things that day in the city. One of those was like, you know what? Kind of want to see how a zoo works.
We like zoos.
We like zoos, and we're like, I'm intrigued by how a zoo overseas looks, right? Obviously, there are differences. There were some unique things there, but very early on,
Like the first animal we saw.
it was I
Almost.
think it was the first or second animal. We're like, "What is this?" And it was kind of a small enclosure. I would say similar to a red panda enclosure. I would say is the most similar if you're familiar with those. Those are pretty common around here. And we look in, and what was in this enclosure?
A raccoon.
Not just one, two.
It said exotic animal.
Yeah.
A raccoon.
And it said in German, which I don't remember what it is. It started with a W, but basically it translated to raccoon.
And
There was
it
two
had a
raccoons.
picture. You know how they have the signs that describe the
to
raccoon?
show them in their natural habitats.
One of the pictures was a raccoon in a trash can. We thought that was the funniest thing.
Yeah, and that
I
was
texted my mom, like, right away, like, "Mom, you will not believe this."
it had the raccoon in a trash can, it had a raccoon on a back porch,
Yeah.
someone's house, I think it had like, on a car. I was like, "What is going on here?"
I'm like, "Do they not have raccoons over here?"
And we didn't even think about it, but they don't.
They don't.
They're just
They
in
do
North
not,
America. So,
which was interesting for us
which
to
was
see.
interesting. So we Liz was with us when we went to the zoo, and we've joked since then about the exotic animal known as the raccoon.
Yes.
So, um, ironically, we then went on a trip, 2 years ago now in 2024, where we did a big road trip to Mount Rushmore. Talked about that in a previous episode. We stopped at a zoo, the Minnesota Zoo, and
Really good zoo.
yeah, it's a unique zoo. I'll say that. Some of it I like, some of it I didn't like, but it had some neat stuff, in the way that they displayed it. They actually had the monorail that got converted over that you could walk at the
Yeah,
top. So it's a
and that was
walkway.
really cool. Electrifying.
Shocking, but, it the problem is it
Interesting.
used rubber and it static electric itself. So, just as a heads up there, um, and you would shock yourself every so often. So there was a lot of static electricity. But anyway, we did the whole zoo and we're like, "Oh, there's this Minnesota section." It was just talking about animals in Minnesota, and guess what was there?
A raccoon.
A raccoon.
The second time we seen a raccoon at a zoo.
I think we almost fainted. It was,
I'm like, "What is this?"
"What in the
I
world
mean,
is
I
going?"
guess, there's bears and stuff in a zoo, and they're
Yeah.
natural to Tennessee,
So we may have quickly sent Liz something, uh,
and my mom.
right after this. We're like, "This is happening again." So, anyway, that's our
Well,
trail talk for this. If you like, please send us other comments however you want through our social channels or to mgmadventures@yahoo.com. We would like additional things to talk about. Also, please make sure to like, follow, and share wherever you're listening or watching this from. That would be great. And see you on the next episode, Adventures.